Good morning, everybody. I wanted to talk about Venezuela today a little bit. So, uh, we do know that Maduro dared US to come and pick him up, to come and get him, right? And and the United States did just that. I guess the lesson for uh, uh, some of these third world dictators is not to dare US or not to talk hyperbolically like that. Uh, so that's one side. Uh, but the jokes aside, I wanted to talk about the end game here, the long game, the strategy, if there is any. Uh, uh, from the tactical point of view, and also from the operational point of view, uh, this this operation was a success. And I think a lot of people I see that are happy because of that. But it's never about the tactic or the operation, is it? It's always about the strategy and the long game, right? So we have to figure out what the long game is here. Because I know I'm struggling to see if there is any long game here. Now let's go over some of the hypotheses in the case of Venezuela. So from what have happened so far, what has happened so far, the plan seems to be that we are using our navy, the navy that was established by our constitution to defend our naval routes. Okay, that navy. We are using that navy to control the trade routes of Venezuela, and through that to control indirectly the internal affairs of Venezuela, including some portions of its economy, the oil production and trade. Also, we are hoping to be able to control the drug trafficking situation in Venezuela. Okay, let's see if any of these is going to be possible. So, in terms of drug trafficking, if you don't have boots on the ground, what can you achieve, right? If we don't have boots on the ground, then it's going to be Venezuelan army and armed forces and police versus their cartels, right? So what's the difference now? Nothing, right? And it's not that we change the regime over there, right? We only change one person over there, and all of Maduro's assistants, his own party, everyone else is there. And for all we know, some of them may actually be even, more hardliner than him, right? I mean, we don't know who is there, right? We only knew Maduro. That's pretty much what we know. So in any case, so that's so that is for the internal affair. Now, this leaves us with the oil trade, right? Now, again, we are using our navy to control their trades, and their only trade is basically oil. China was the biggest buyer of their oil. Then India, was buying some of their oil as well. But China was their main customer essentially. So China stopped buying oil from them because, obviously, because we are controlling their oil, Venezuela's oil. China is not going to be, they're not going to rely on these kind of sources. And conveniently, China has rerouted its trades and replaced Venezuela's oil with Iran, Russia, and other sources, Arab countries and whatnot. Uh, so that's that. India, you know that Trump just made a trade deal with them. A big portion of it was to have them buy Venezuelan oil, to keep buying Venezuelan oil. So basically, at this point, we are marketing Venezuela's oil to other countries, trying to replace China. We ourselves in the US can't consume all of their production. We do have refineries near the Gulf of Mexico slash Gulf of America that are purposed for refining this particular sour and heavy and viscous oil that Venezuela has. But as of now, it appears that we can consume about 1/5, or maybe a little less than Venezuela's production right now. And their production now, if sanctions are going away, their production is set to increase over the years. And again, we won't be consuming a whole bunch of their oil. So it has to go to other countries. Now, other countries, as you can see, they are trying to diversify out of the United States, because of our kind of random and chaotic foreign policies, Greenland, Venezuela itself, and other countries, and other incidents that we acted kind of randomly. So they, I doubt they would be willing to rely on Venezuela's oil, since we can cut that flow to any particular country that we don't like at any point of time. So it might be a little difficult to get customers for Venezuela's oil, but I suppose we will end up getting some. We will find some people buying to buy it. In any case, but what does that do for us? I mean, what's what's in it for us here, right? They may be selling their own, their oil. People are gonna get the oil and whatnot. So as of now, it seems that we have gotten a portion of their oils, the tankers, and we use them. We put them on. We sold them on auction in US, and it looks like we are gonna be doing a similar thing. We're gonna get a quota of their monthly production or something like that, and we are going to be selling that, in US. So the question here is that how long can we do that before Venezuelan people are pissed off? You think Venezuelans, they are going to sit there and say, sure, yeah, no problems. You're gonna give you this money, this oil, on a monthly basis. Just take it, right? It's just yours, right? Are they gonna do that, or are they going to start, slowly? Cartels or others in Venezuela, they are going to slowly planning to blow up our oil workers or assets in Venezuela, turning it into another mess for our military intervention. That's that. I'm not optimistic. I'm in fact very pessimistic. We have done similar operations in Iraq and Afghanistan just recently, the past 20-25 years, and they ended up a mess, to put it mildly. We did not even have big contracts, or our company is doing big contracts in Afghanistan or Iraq. Their largest contracts have been federal contracts from the U.S. government. So we were paying. So we paid to invade these freaking countries, and we lost so many people and all that. So much money. We essentially sacrificed 20 years worth of prosperity of our own people, of our particularly this generation, the young generation now, in Iraq and Afghanistan. And on top of that, we paid these greedy, corrupt companies of ours to go and do rebuilding of Afghanistan or Iraq, in their contract, reconstruction contracts. Uh, Same thing could happen in Venezuela. The size of contracts that we will be getting in Venezuela, we don't know how big they're going to be. And frankly, you did not need to remove Venezuela's president to get those contracts. If you wanted to have trade with any countries, yeah, remove your sanctions and negotiate contracts, right? You don't have to get involved militarily or have boots on the ground, have a massive CIA operation in there, anything like that, right? You always get bigger contracts in peace than in war, right? So that's not really an argument to a logical argument really, right? So let's see what else I have over here. All right, I already talked about us marketing their oil. All right, so our overall foreign affairs approach over the past year, so that would be Trump administration's foreign affairs approach, seems to be that seems to be this, that I have a massive military, so I might as well use it. So do you think other presidents could not think of that? Huh? You think the previous presidents they were just kind of pussies, and then they were scared of using our military here and there? I mean, we literally invaded two countries in the past 20 years, 25 years. We have been almost always at war, right, since World War II. Okay, so it's not that it never occurred to other presidents that, oh, we have a massive military, let's just use it. Right? The reason they did not do it is that it was dumb, right? Because there was no long-term benefits, right? Even if we made any money, a small amount of money, that would be blood money. And frankly, none of that was necessary to make money, right? If it's just for money, you like I said, you make more money in peace, right, than in war. How much money we make from trading with China? How much money? How much comfort we have? How much benefit we get from trading with Europe, right? And we're at peace with all of these countries, or with India, right? So there's no so you won't be making money because of your wars, right? A certain group of people who make the weapons, they will be making money in the U.S., right? Or whoever is going to win the contract after war, they will be making money. So if they are your supporters as a politician, they would be very happy. You would be making them very happy. That's that. But as a country, no, we will be losing our people. Right? What has been the legacy of Iraq and Afghanistan war so far? Right? People losing their kids. Right? Families losing the dad. Right? People getting shot, being handicapped, being disabled. Our soldiers coming back with PTSD, right? Committing suicide over here, right? These are the legacies of our war against Iraq and Afghanistan. We didn't get anything out of it besides that, right? Look at Afghanistan. Before we invaded Afghanistan, Taliban was controlling maybe 80% of Afghanistan. 20% of Afghanistan was in control of actually other factions. Now, Taliban has virtually 100% of Afghanistan under themselves. Iraq, look at Iraq. I mean, what did we get out of Iraq? Is Iraq's economy any better now than then? No. Right. If we wanted to trade with Iraq, could we not trade with Saddam, for example? Right? We could have approached Saddam. We could have removed some of the sanctions. We had a lot of leverage over Saddam, right? Because we had the harshest sanctions possible on Saddam, right? We could have, used those sanctions as leverage and get a lot of benefits and privileges out of Saddam if we wanted to, right? But no, we just didn't want to do that, right? We had to go, and lose our people, lose money, spend trillions of dollars in money. We had to do all those stupid things, right? So again, back to Trump administration so far, that mentality that I have this massive military, might as well use it. As I said, this is not the first time it's occurring to a president. Other presidents, they were fully aware of that. Trust me. The key here, I want to say that the key is not to have a massive military, to spend the size of world's 15th economy on your defense. To spend the entire economy of Turkey on just your defense, and then use it, here and there. The key is not that. The key is to not spend that money and spend it on your own people, on the healthcare of your people, for example, which is completely broken, on your education system, right? On the families that are falling apart, right? That's the key. U.S. has massive natural advantages over other countries. We are by oceans apart. We are by oceans separated from everyone else in the world. The only part that is close to is South America. Generally, they are very peaceful people. If you have been in South America, you will see their culture. They're very family oriented. They're generally very peaceful, right? Passionate and peaceful people. If you know any of their language, you can see with Spanish, Espanol generally sounds very passionate. If you have been there, I'm sure you could see that in their culture. So we don't have to be worried about them, and we don't have much border with. The only border we have with them is Mexico, right? The rest of it is through ocean again, which is very difficult to stage an attack. Okay, using a navy to stage an attack is very difficult. We had a lot of difficulties doing the same thing with the largest navy on earth against Germany, against Axis countries in World War II. Right, we had to do it all again and again to get it right. Right, so it's a very massive task. So again, we are oceans apart from the rest of the world. We would be spending maybe half of the other powers as a portion of the GDP. We are spending twice instead, right? So instead of taking advantage of that and spending less compared to other powers, we are spending more, like twice. We are spending twice China as a percentage of our GDP on our defense. And China is literally in the middle of everything. They have Japan next to them, Japan that killed millions of Chinese. All right. To this day, they are enemies. They have animosity left between them. South Korea is there. Then you have Russia. Russia historically had issues with China, and you have south of China, those other countries. They are not very friendly. I mean, with China in terms of historically, they have had problems. Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, and so on and so forth. And you also have India, a massive country and population on the south or west of China. Again, they have border issues and all that. So China is in the middle of all of this and spending half of us as a percent of their GDP, and they have almost similar GDP to us. They spend half of their GDP. They spend at the portion of the GDP they spend 1.7%. We spend 3.4% of our GDP. Europe, we have been subsidizing their defense, right? We have been paying to defend them, while they have had free healthcare all along, free education all along. Right? How dumb is that? Right? Everyone in the world literally has taken advantage of us, and here we are sitting like dummies and saying that and being proud that we have this massive military and we're using it against what? Venezuela? Who cares? Right? Again, I don't see any any major strategic advantages in this kind of operation. It it might have been simply just a distraction from Epstein file or whatever that was going on about a month ago. And if anything changes, I will update you guys. All right. Thank you. You have a good day.